So we need to ask ourselves, with all these strange hail events happening across the planet, is this related to El Nino? Because there's a known correlation or connection between extreme hail and extreme El Nino. We're coming into it. It's official now. It's begun. It's supposed to be intense. So this is the forecast through the end of 2026. Starting out with this chart, not commonly available, all the way back to 1850 on the bottom left. You can see intensity of El Nino and La Nina through time since 1850. We are at the top right, about to stretch up into the 3 degrees Celsius above, into the heat. Well, where have we seen that before? The 1870s, intensely right around 1869 and again 1877. 1980 for us on the chart up there, and then the super spikes that we've seen again in 1998, 99, and 2015. Aside from that, that's all we have to go on is those intense 5 or 6. Reason I wanted to bring this up is these hail reports are growing across the United States. It's either going to be less frequent or more frequent, the storm intensity, the droughts. But there is a relationship between a developing El Nino and how much hail we get. So moving forward, the newest as of this week, what the forecast strength is going to be, for sure, 1,000%, we're looking at September, October, November, and even a little before, but the most intense, October through January, that's where the darkest red are, right in the center there. If we start over to the left of chart, May, June, July, that's where we are now. It's onsetting. Some effects are being seen, but not to the intensity that we'll see coming into autumn this year. But they show June, July, and August, the ramp up. So we're officially in the ramp up period, and July, August, September, the third bar there, it really starts to get intense. A lot of extra precipitation, moisture. Coral Reef Watch Daily got you on the red, looking at around 5C coastal off of South America, west side into the Pacific. That's going to begin stretching further afield here. Newest update on the 13th, just picked this one up a couple days ago. So the intensity continues from the 1st to the 15th, about 15-day increment there. And with that being said, we got the intensifying El Nino, that flips weather patterns. We've been trading grains on this for almost 200 years on the planet. People know that plant crops, where it's going to take away moisture, where it's going to push moisture. We're in this transition period now, and it's starting to show itself with the hail events. Going to glimpse a few with you here, and you can see the intensity of where it is on the map, where it's showing more moisture coming through. And as we get into the middle of the summer and coming into autumn, we're going to see some real anomalies happening in terms of, well, infrastructure and also our food availability, just based on not only the fertilizer that thankfully the Hormuz Strait is open, but that damage is done. We're already way deep into the planting season. It's going to be 30 days, 90 days out till they get more fertilizer. So this whole season's kind of a write-off. Now we have these natural events that are overlayering, but they're a known event, La Nina, El Nino. I mean, this has been, again, used by countries to protect themselves through the centuries on how their climate shifts, wetter, drier, and what they can expect moving forward. Food production, 2 centuries is a long time to figure this out. So we got it pretty well wired down. So what comes next? The hail is what comes next. So I'm going to bring you up on here on the world map, wet, dry, pretty easy to see. Brown's dry, green's wet. We're going to drop you over into the Middle East, Caspian Sea Basin area in Turkey right now for you. And the intensity of the hail is, starting to ramp up here. But here's the thing. It's this uniform hail, pea size or so. There's a little bit larger, but it's almost like snow falling. This is what we're starting to see around the planet, pretty much exactly the same sized hail, which is interesting in almost every of the videos, except for a couple outliers. The hail is exactly the same size. Well, this would be expected if you're looking at a phenomenon that's going to pull the globe. And this is in Armenia, one of the larger examples of the hail. But you start to see how this will affect agriculture too, breaking through the greenhouses, smashing crops in the fields, knocking everything off. Like I say, these larger events are in regions that you wouldn't expect that, like Armenia and going off into more desert areas. But you can see how the agriculture damaged. Now notice the hail size here. It's a lot uniform Pea-Gravel sized hail, which seems to be becoming the norm anywhere that you're looking at hail damage. It's the perfect size that I keep talking about. This is all I'm seeing is this type of hail. The Pea-Gravel size is the standard now. So if we're looking at precipitation or dryness, if you will, that was just along the Caspian Sea basin. And then if you want to add in dryness forecasts as well, in addition to where the hail's coming down, where the wet on the map was shown, you're going to get that type of hail. Just plan for it. Now, we're also going to have the dry events here. So as you come into December, January, February is how our, North America is going to be affected here. Dry up in the west with some North American monsoon action, four corners, and further up California there on the mountain range. And when you look at the forecast for 3 months, it matches up with that, bringing us out to pretty much September 1st. Again, what's ahead of schedule is these anomalies that are happening. They're 2 months at least ahead of where they should be. So this is for you back on the 7th of June. The greens are anywhere from, 10, 12, 15 degrees Fahrenheit below the normal temperatures, which show that something unusual is there. Then we got the snowfall across these same areas. Not expected, except it would be expected during the El Niño onset. Like something's shifting before, and we're already into the onset of it. So is this going to be much more intense as we work our way down through the year? Bring it back to the map again here. This time over Europe, you can see Southern Europe, Spain, all the way over to again in Turkey. And then that northern blob there encompasses parts of Germany, Switzerland, etc. And for a little bit deeper dive in that region, El Nino event, summer analysis, June, July, August, this is where you're going to get your extra precipitation. And anywhere there's high mountains between France and Germany, Italy and Switzerland, then you come over into the Balkans and you get up, wafting up through Croatia into Bulgaria and Romania. This is a very telling map here. So right on cue, we're getting snow again. Intensity at this time of the year is surprising. That's a nice way to phrase it. 20 centimeters, well, 30 centimeters is a full foot. So what would that be? 8 inches? There's also that grapule mixed in, that almost hail snowflake type of ice crystal that comes down. And again, what are we seeing in Switzerland? The exact same, about pea size hail that is becoming the norm. So the intensity of this onset does seem to have legs behind it. Now, if it does go to the point where instead of having a lot of rain events, we're going to have a lot more hail events, then that changes the dynamic for agriculture as well. A lot of rain's one thing, a lot of hail is something else. And if this is indeed true, this connection between increased hail events and increased intensity of El Niños, then here we go. Swinging you up to Italy, like I said, North Italy, this is what they're getting up there. This same type, scene, copy paste again. And it's almost the same photo that you'd be looking at regardless of the destination. Here we are in Bulgaria. Again, you get the same type of, again, crop destroying, an indication that something has definitely started anew in the atmosphere. And where it lays is where it stays. So the green on your map, you really take a look at the planetary view here and swinging it over to the far right of the chart there into Japan. And I know China's had its share of crazy storms this year, South Korea as well, but I got some southern Japan, again, images coming out, the same types of, what do you see? This connected hail phenomenon is what I'm going to call, like a global hail phenomenon, where areas that don't normally get hail are getting it. The overall homogenization across the planet of it being more hail events than there would be extreme rain events. So again, I'll leave it up to you to judge, see what you've seen here. And the main thing is, does it give us an indication on how intense this is going to get over the next 6 to 9 months? Is this why the world's scrambling to achieve something new in advance of this? Is this going to be another layer of disruption? Strait of Hormuz open, great, fertilizer will come for next season, but it's disrupted this season. Now what's growing in the fields, every time there's a storm, instead of it just being rain, intense rains and intense winds, what if it becomes hail events? 100,000 acres over there destroyed, 50,000 acres over there. And as this rolls through, as the crops get more mature, our fruits get more mature, stripped off the trees. And I would encourage you to take a look, freeze that frame on the greens to see where it is going to be. I bet as we look through the end of the year, keep your eyes peeled for the hail events, because they are a signal. There's just so many happening. And I know it's springtime, but this is way above the normal, far more widespread than the normal that you'd see in a regular year by orders of magnitude, not just, oh, it's about double what it was last year. It's off the charts where it's hard to keep up with the amount of hail events. I could bring you more and more and more. I'm going to focus on China next. But something is definitely signaling you, like a starting gun, that we're about to shift into something new. So how does that work for pricing and inflation and availability? We're already having destruction on that side anyway from this Strait of Hormuz, Gulf debacle. So where does it take us to next? That's the question. Putting up another post for you today over on Subscribestar and patreon.com/adapt2030. Hope you caught the wheat forecast for last time. It seems to be, as of this week, double checking the numbers, right on the money where we sat. Those links are in the description box below, as well as trueleafmarket.com. Get your garden on. We're coming into summer planting. You're going to have to supplement your food and keep your gardens protected. You know the hail is inbound. And as always, feel free to share this with friends and family. Subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, cut this up in shorts and share it through your social media. Oh, you're going to have to copy the link and share it through your social. You know how it is with the algo these days. So until next time, bye for now.